Live from the opening ceremonies of Richmond 2015, you're watching 8 News on the Move. Coverage sponsored by VCU Health.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. 8 News is on the move tonight on Browns Island. You're looking at a live picture of our location this evening. The UCI Road World Championships opening ceremonies begin in just about an hour.
And folks are starting to trickle in. The crowd is getting even bigger. About 12,000 people are expected here on Browns Island tonight.
We thank you for being with us on this Friday. I'm Juan Condi.
And I'm Christina Ferrick.
I'm Amy Lacey. You're back in the 8 News studio tonight.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hey there.
We'll be back with Amy in just a few moments. Of course, all things UCI, our top story here this evening. Let's talk a bit about the opening ceremonies here on Browns Island. 12,000 people will be here. It was a ticketed event, though, so there are none left. So if you don't have a ticket, don't come on down. If you are coming down sometime in the next hour, here's a list of some of the things you can't bring. Pets, with the exception of service animals, large bags or coolers. You also can't bring bikes or scooters.
There are a few things you can bring, very few. 1 bottle of water that is sealed per person. Also, if you're coming down, bring your blanket or a chair because there are lots of things to see and do here.
They just turned the sound system on behind us. The excitement is ramping up. You know, the great thing about biking is that you can do it at a high level or you can just ride around your cul-de-sac. But when you're on a big-time team, it takes a lot of people to keep you going.
That's right. Usually each rider has about a dozen people per person, per rider. Lots of folks giving back to that person. And our 8 Sports Director, Mitch Carr, has more on that.
Test.
This is how a defending world champion prepares.
Those are the radios we're going to use. I tested them already 2 days ago, but I just want to be sure.
Team BMC Cycling won the team time trial at last year's World Championships.
It's all about getting this little sticker.
And from the helpers, called soigneurs, to the riders, they all want to do it again.
You can say you're a world champion, and it's quite a big thing, I would say.
It starts, of course, with the bike.
Everything has to be perfect, shiny. Technically, we can do a lot of changes, especially on wheel choice, tire choice, and gearings.
The race is about 37 kilometers, a distance the team can cover in close to 45 minutes.
This type of race is winning by a second or even less than a second, so everything counts.
So any little mistake can cost Team BMC the title.
Test.
Each rider gets a radio.
Communication, actually, it's the base of everything.
The support staff feeds them information constantly from a follow car like this one. How fast to go, what turns are coming up, and that's why head soigneur Gunther Landry is working so hard.
I would just want to be sure that they hear everything, that all the information that we get from the car goes to the rider, so that's it. Just want to be sure.
Also important, nutrition. You get out what you put in.
After so many years in cycling, you realize like it's not always working on the candy bars after the race.
The good news, this is the last event of the season, so maybe candy bars are in the near future. Mitch Carr, 8 News.
Really interesting. Interesting to see what they do.
And always such fun to have those folks here in town because we've never hosted anything like this. And I tell you, it is getting more exciting while we're sitting out here.
Yeah, everybody who was at home worried about whether or not this is going to be cool, we're here to tell you.
It is.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
All right, we have stories across the city, of course, from UCI this weekend.
Up first, our 8 News reporter Matthew McClellan, he has more from Browns Island.
That's right, Christina. Folks filling up Browns Island right now. They were trickling in. Now they are pouring in ahead of this event. In less than an hour, cycling's premier event set to kick off. And right next to me, these are the gates that Team USA will be riding through on their bikes, as well as the other nations represented. We're expecting up to 450 spectators from the Richmond region, the nation, and around the world tonight. Earlier today, we caught up with a couple of folks who came all the way from Florida.
Well, we're big cyclists. We enjoy to ride a lot. We watch the Tour de France every year. We like to watch cycling. Excited to see the teams and all the cyclists and all the events.
Now, more than 1,000 cyclists from 70 countries are going to be competing. It's a lot to look forward to, a lot of excitement. Again, we're kicking off in less than an hour. We're going to keep it right here, reporting live. Matthew McClellan on Browns Island, 8 News.
All right, thank you very much, Matthew. You know, much has been made about the inconveniences that Richmonders will suffer during the UCI races, parking and detours and things like that. GRTC going to be affected a little bit as well because of the races. GRTC staff was out this afternoon posting signs at bus stops that cannot be used during the races, but none of these closures go into effect until 3 a.m. this morning. All GRTC bus service today is active and open. Christina?
Also, something of note, your trash. Trash is going to be much earlier, that pickup, because of the UCI race, but it's not going to be too bad. Crews will have to pick up trash, Richmond residents' trash, in the wee hours of the morning to avoid any road closures that Juan just mentioned. 62,000 Richmond households will be impacted, but the good news, the early morning wake up will only happen once for each household. So just once for all this fun. Now from Browns Island to the finish line on Broad Street, 8 News has team coverage of the UCI Road World Championships right here in Richmond.
Now that we turn our attention back to the studio.
Let's go to Amy Lacey. She has more on today's news.
We'll check in with you in just a few minutes, guys. For now, in Henrico, police are searching for a brazen thief in a surgical mask. Detectives say the man has robbed 3 West End businesses at gunpoint over the past 2 days. Our 8 News reporter Kristen Smith spoke with one of the victims who says the suspect apologized for what he was doing.
This guy's hit 3 very different businesses over the last 2 days, but what has been consistent is that the suspects always had a silver gun and worn a surgical mask. Well, that surgical mask may be more telling than you think when you hear why he may have started this crime spree.
All of a sudden, he just pulls out the gun at me, and he just said, "You already know the drill. Put the money in the bag."
It was only her 3rd day on the job at this cellular store on West Broad Street when Pam Gomez-Cano says this man walked in and pointed a gun at her.
I didn't know what to think. Like, it got to a point where I was like, I'm helping him get whatever he wants. Like, I'm on his side at that point.
So she gave him money from the drawer and the 4 HTC cell phones he demanded. That's when the suspect caught her even more off guard.
He said, "You know, I'm sorry. I just have to pay for my surgeries."
Then she says the robber limped out of the store. Just over 24 hours later, police say the same man with a surgical mask hit this strip mall on Staples Mill Road near Hungry Springs. Witnesses report seeing police outside of Sleepy's. Not even an hour later, investigators say the suspect struck again at this pizza chain on Staples Mill. Employees tell us the man with the gun seemed nervous, and he had that limp. Police say their best bet in nabbing this guy is if someone recognizes his picture. If you have any information that might help, please call Henrico Police. In Henrico, Kristen Smith, 8 News.
Also news where you live in Henrico, CASA is holding its 10th annual art exhibition and silent auction tonight. Some items up for auction include artwork from local artists, plane tickets, and jewelry. All proceeds go to the CASA program, which helps abused and neglected children. The auction kicks off at 6 o'clock at the Crossroad Arts Center on Staples Mill Road. Coming up, when the Pope calls, you answer, and you answer in a big way. We will hear from the man who was asked to whip up a special blend of coffee for the pontiff. Plus, a New York couple won the genetic lottery, and their lucky number was 3. I'll explain when 8 News at 5:30 returns after a short break. John?
Or when you consider the college tuition bills, they lost in a big way. But we didn't lose out weather-wise today here across Central Virginia. Looking live at Virginia State University. Look at the beautiful sunshine out there. It's a good start to the weekend, but it will be getting cooler and cloudier. Details are coming up next.
We're watching 8 News at 5:30. We are covering the news where you live. A live look over the River City tonight as we prepare to welcome UCI. Covering the news from Colonial Heights to Short Pump. Stay with us. We're back in just a moment.
Welcome back. Another live look at the final preparations underway for the UCI Road World Championships. A live, gorgeous picture of the James River here on Browns Island. Things are really getting exciting and heating up.
Boy, what a lovely Friday we have today. All right, let's do some health news for you here. Too little sleep can be a problem for young children.
In a new study, it shows that your brain actually cleanses itself for a child during sleep, so they got to get their Z's. The lack of sleep could actually lead to a misdiagnosis doses of ADHD in children. Children with sleep problems are more likely to be hyper, impulsive, and aggressive, all symptoms consistent with ADHD. We will have much more from Browns Island and UCI in just a moment, but first we want to send it back to Amy Lacey. She's in our 8 News studios.
Hi, Christina. Yeah, this story is coming out of New York. A trio of newborns entered the world beating the odds. Meet identical triplets Owen, Noah, and Miles. They are so rare. Doctors say they're 1 in a million. In July, the babies were born 7 weeks premature. Now, with the hard part over, their parents have developed a system to keep their lookalikes straight.
We color code them. Owen is blue, Noah is gray, and Miles is green. We dress them in that color, and we paint their toenail those particular colors.
Mom, Dad, and big brother Aiden are excited to embark on life as a family of 6, saying this new adventure is going to be fun. So when the Pope asks you to make some coffee, you make him some coffee. That's what happened to Tracy Allen of Kansas City. Pope Francis asked him to create a blend and for him and his staff to drink while they're here in the U.S. Well, Allen says the Pope likely became aware of his work through business he does in Italy. And even though the request is overwhelming, he says it is humbling.
I have all the faith in the world in my team and the work that's been done leading up to this, and it's so great to be able to reward him with saying we got this.
Allen said he started doing his homework right away and learned Pope Francis loves many types of food and is also a wine expert. Who knew? Kate Middleton is heading back to work with a brand new hairstyle, and it is causing a frenzy on social media. John?
And here across central Virginia, a cold front in the Midwest is going to bring us some cooler temperatures at the end of the weekend and some unsettled weather next week. I'll have the details in a moment.
Welcome back. Part of the UCI race will take cyclists and visitors from Kings Dominion down Route 301 through Hanover County. Ashland is using this opportunity to welcome them in a way that's positively Richmond.
In every corner of Ashland, as far as the eye can see, bicycle gardens line the streets, add color to the roofs, and are full of life.
The bike gardens are the coolest thing to happen to this town in a while.
Tom Wolf explains the Ashland Main Street Association's design committee found inspiration from a public art project in LaGrange, Kentucky, but put a spin on it to represent this unique town.
We are eclectic and we are very different, and we have all kinds here, and we have also lots of things to do.
Carolyn Peart says it started with 5 gardens and then took off.
It was infectious. The bike gardens just started growing, if you will, spontaneously, and now about 70 of our businesses have bicycles in front of them, and a bunch of our residents have installed them in their front yards as well.
Businesses are using them to draw in people of all ages.
We've got so much to offer, and this brings international attention to us, which I think is fantastic.
And for anyone visiting the area for UCI, these gardens will help make Ashland a memorable stop.
It's sent a message to the world that we wanted to send. We're a great community. We're full of all different colors and shapes and sizes, as in the bike colors and the sizes and the different flowers.
And they are so beautiful. If you'd like to see the gardens for yourself, you can pick up a guide at the Ashland Hanover Visitor Center. There's also a Facebook page with photos of many of them. We will link you there on WRIC.com. John, let's head over to you to talk about UCI and the forecast.
Oh, yes, there you are on Browns Island, getting ready for the opening ceremonies going on this evening at 6:30. If you don't have a ticket, you can't get in, so most people probably already down there and starting to stream in as they're opening the gates very soon. We've had a great week weather-wise for us, but there'll be some changes coming next week. Storm system coming in from the Midwest. It's producing some thunderstorms out there. We'll bring in cooler temperatures. There's moisture sitting off the southeast coastline. Kind of have to keep our eyes on. This is the system coming across the nation's midsection right now. There's the moisture with a little area that we're keeping our eyes on. This is the time of the year where we can still get a tropical development down there. And we have to keep our eyes on that because it could kick some moisture up here and bring in some unwelcome rainfall for the races, but rainfall that we do desperately need here because there's some places in southern Virginia that are very, very dry. Here's the rain sitting out over the Gulf Stream right now. It's not a real issue to deal with at this time being. Outside, the weather where you live looks pretty good. Roll on the numbers on here. Ashland, that we just talked about, checking in at 81 degrees outside. Lakeside at 78. 82 degrees over in Glen Allen, and down in Southside, we have temperatures generally between 82 and about 83 degrees. Tonight, no real issues weather-wise. Fair skies continue over us. Light winds not as cool. We won't be blowing back into the 50s tonight for most of us. We'll bottom out around 62 degrees. The weather where you live tomorrow, mostly sunny skies in the morning, a few more clouds in the afternoon. 84 degrees, as you can see, down towards Colonial Heights and Hopewell. Over in Petersburg, looks pretty good at 86. The map tomorrow, no issues for us, just a couple of clouds coming through the area. Here's that front lurking back to the west, but you see the showers drying up as they head towards us on Sunday. But by Sunday, temperatures will be getting cooler, 81 degrees, and then 70s next week. I look for the possibility of some rain. It's mainly west of Richmond on Monday. Another chance on Thursday and Friday of next week of some showers, with temperatures generally between 74 and 78 degrees.
Welcome back, everybody. It is time to see what is trending on this Friday. Juan, Christina, what are people talking about online today?
Well, Amy, we're going across the pond for our first story. Apparently, Kate Middleton has a brand new haircut.
Yes, and people are really talking about it. The Duchess of Cambridge, she was seen visiting yesterday at children's charity in London. Her new haircut and her bangs sent social media into a frenzy. The charity visit was part of her campaign to raise awareness about children's mental health issues.
She looks
cute,
fantastic. Yeah, okay, we'll talk more about that in a sec. Let's go to Tennessee now, where they may have the father of the year. Brett Winnick transformed his red Ford Mustang into Lightning McQueen for his 3-year-old son who loves the movie Cars. He says his son mimics the quotes from the movie all the time, and Winnick will take this Lightning McQueen car, which also apparently has a talking feature, just to freak the kids out, to car shows for others to enjoy.
That is fantastic. Yeah, I need one of those parked in the
really nice. All right, let's jump back to Kate Middleton for a second. What do you think? Bangs, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Bangs are coming back in style. I think she looks cute with them.
Amy, what do you think?
I think she looks good anyway. She's one of those people that she just lucks out no matter what she does.
Fashion plate for sure.
Yeah, she is. Everybody, if you want to join the conversation, what do you think about the bangs or that car? I thought it was pretty cool. Join the conversation on the 8 News Facebook page or send us your favorite trending videos. All you have to do is search 8 News. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. One of America's favorite crime-fighting couples is back. The season premiere of Castle is this Monday on ABC. And for the lead characters, there's a lot of professional and personal drama unfolding. Brandy Hitz sat down with Castle himself.
Big changes are coming to season 8 of Castle.
Castle, what's going on?
With lead actor Nathan Fillion filling us in on what's in store for the famous crime author and his wife, New York detective Kate Beckett.
We're looking at, I think, the next evolution of their relationship.
In season 7's finale, Beckett, played by Stana Katic, passed her police captain's exam, but was also asked to run for political office.
We'd like you to run for New York State Senate.
Have you decided what you're going to do? Not yet, but whatever it is, I'm looking forward to the adventure.
And the dynamic between the two of them, how is that changing?
That kind of career change doesn't include Castle as much as Castle would like it to. Now he's going to focus a little more on that private eye stuff.
Castle! Fillion says he loves the show's unpredictability.
Every day is different. Every day is new. Last week I had a bag of spiders on my face.
How do you get yourself into all these predicaments? Are any of these ever recommended by you, or is it just the writers?
I didn't recommend the bag of spiders. What are you going to say, no? You going to say no? Come on, put a bag of spiders on my face.
And after 7 successful seasons, his goal now...
You have to have a little drama. But the challenge is, can you keep it fresh every day?
Brandy Hitt, ABC News, Los Angeles.
It is hard to believe fall premiere week is here, and all new Scandal and new shows like Quantico and Dr. Ken are getting a lot of chatter. And we have another live half hour of 8 News on the Move starting right now.